All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to give an update on HUT8, stock ticker HUT. They are a Bitcoin mining company. They released an update today on their North Bay facility. This has been an ongoing situation, so they've given us an update. I want to go through the update, and then I want to go through what I think it means for the company and where the company goes from here, because at the moment, they are trading at their 52-week low. So if you're new to the channel, we go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time. So if you have not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe and to hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it really helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. Lastly, if you want to become a member, you can hit the join button on the YouTube page, and you can join and become a member of the channel. Members get some members-only content. In addition to that, we do a once-a-week members-only live stream, and that is Tuesday after the market closes. And also on that live stream, members get to pick a video for me to do a deep dive on. So we'd love to have you join us. Let's talk about HUT8. Okay, we're at the end of the trading day. HUT8 closed today at $1.11. This is US dollars. This is on the NASDAQ. So it did get down to as low as $1.08. That ties its 52-week low from about 1 week ago. We'll look at that when we get to the chart, but this is trading very, very low. This stock has been beaten up badly over the last few weeks and really since the short-term peak back in August, so over the last 3 months. Market cap is now $217 million. So before we get to the press release, just quickly want to look at the historic market cap and put that in perspective. So $217 million right now. You'll see a year ago, so this is a little over a year ago now, November 8th, when they hit their all-time high, this was over a $2 billion market cap company. So they have gone from $2 billion down to, $200 million. So obviously they're down somewhere in the magnitude of 90% as far as their market cap goes. And I like to show market cap because we look at these stock prices, but based on dilution, sometimes they don't tell the story. Well, this one does tell the story. They really are down in market cap, down 90% from their highs from just a little over 1 year ago. Okay, let's get to the press release. HUT8 provides update on North Bay facility. So this was today, November 28th. HUT8 announced that it has requested mediation proceedings to be commenced with Validus Power Corp, a third-party supplier of energy to the company's mining facility in North Bay, Ontario. So that's the first thing I want to point out. This situation is isolated to North Bay. So HUT8 has several mining facilities, and then they have their high-performance computing centers on top of that. So I think all told, they may have as many as 10 different locations. This affects one of those locations, and that is the North Bay location. So if I go to their November investor presentation, you'll see there's 3 main locations that they mine Bitcoin, and they are at Medicine Hat, Drumhill, and North Bay. So you'll see North Bay is about 8,800 machines, 0.84 exahash. That's just a little bit over a quarter of their Bitcoin mining. The other 3/4 of their Bitcoin mining over at Medicine Hat and Drumheller are unaffected by this situation. So that's the first thing I want to do, is put a scope on what this situation is, because you can see this company is now trading down at its 52-week lows. And a lot of that I think has to do with obviously FTX situation a couple of weeks ago pushed all of the Bitcoin mining companies and Bitcoin down to some new lows. But there was some extra pressure on HUT as a result of this conflict they're in that has not yet been resolved, that's affecting essentially 25% of their Bitcoin mining business. So again, that means it's affecting 0% of their high-performance computing business. Okay, let's keep going. On November 9th, 2022, HUT8 delivered a notice of event of default to Validus in respect to Validus's breach of certain obligations under the terms of the power purchase agreement, the PPA, between Validus and the company. Validus has subsequently suspended delivery of energy to the company's mining operations in North Bay and delivered a notice of event of default alleging that HUT8 failed to make certain payments relating to the delivery of energy to the North Bay site, an allegation which the company categorically denies. So this is a lawsuit and then a counter lawsuit. That's fairly frequent. So, I'm not an attorney and I don't know any of the details of either of these things, but the one big takeaway that I do have from this sentence is that Validus has stopped providing energy to North Bay. So it seems to me like that operation, for the meantime, while they go into mediation and try and resolve this issue, it sounds like they are not getting power to their machines. In addition to that, that, there's some other exposure that Hut 8 has. Hut 8 has paid some deposits to Validus on this power purchase agreement, so those are at risk. You know, if Validus was to fail, Hut 8 would then be an unsecured creditor and maybe not get some of their deposits back. So that affects their balance sheet. However, this is a very strong balance sheet company. We're going to take a look at that after this, and I'm going to go through the balance sheet because from a cash flow standpoint, this doesn't really affect the company that much. And I don't want to underplay this. I'm not saying that this is insignificant and not relevant to them. It is 25% of their mining facilities. But from an operational standpoint, from a day-to-day standpoint, and from a cash flow standpoint, I really don't think this changes their picture very much. Also, from a big picture standpoint on where Hut 8 is going in the future, I'm not sure this really changes the picture that much as well. Now, they will take a financial hit. If this does not go well, if they lose their deposits and they're unable to come to terms at their North Bay facility, then obviously that will be a setback. But a setback is just that. They do own their own machines, so even if they had to ultimately forfeit their deposits and relocate their machines, I don't think this is a game changer for Hut 8, and that is something I think the market is missing, because I do think that there are a lot of people that are deeply concerned that this puts Hut 8 in jeopardy of maybe going out of business. And I will tell you, for me personally, again, this is not financial advice, but I do not believe this really changes the probability of Hut 8 going out of business. It could be a hit to their financials, but for me, I do not believe this is a game-changing thing for them. However, it could be a financial hit in the year 2022 and maybe 2023. So obviously, hopefully these mediations are productive and they come to an understanding and an agreement and they get this stuff back up and running. That's the best case scenario. They don't want to have to lose their deposits, move all their machines, and jump through all the logistics it would take to do so. However, the next sentence of their press release says, as previously announced, the company is exploring alternatives to mitigate the impact of this dispute, including through organic and inorganic growth opportunities. So they're saying right there, you know, there are other things on the table. They will take these machines and move elsewhere. They'll buy other facilities. If that's what it takes to get this done, then that is what they'll do. They're looking into those options as they speak. Lastly, they say the company will continue to monitor the situation and will provide additional updates in respect of the suspension of mining activities at North Bay, the mediation process, and further proceedings if and as appropriate. Okay, so essentially we have to wait and find out how this mediation is going. Obviously, they don't even know. They've got to go through the process now and see where it ends. Okay, so to put all this in perspective, we really need to just take 1 minute and look at their balance sheet. So this is Hut 8's balance sheet as of September 30th. This is in Canadian dollars. I like to say that because almost everything we look at is in US dollars. The stock ticker that I'm looking at is on the NASDAQ, traded in US dollars. However, their quarterly financials are in Canadian dollars. Okay, so you can see they have current assets of $265 million against current liabilities of $27 million. But I'm going to go a step further. Their total liabilities are $67 million. So their current assets of $265 million are well in excess. They're almost 4 times their total liabilities. So this is not a company that's in a cash flow situation. They do not have a liquidity problem in any way, shape, or form. Now, they're holding 100% of the Bitcoin that they're mining. So at some point, is it possible that they would have to start selling some Bitcoin? I'm not saying that it will. They have expressed that they're not interested in selling any Bitcoin anytime soon. So it is their strategy to continue to hodl Bitcoin. They did so all of 2021 and so far all of 2022. So obviously, it would be preferable that they do not have to start selling them at this low number. But my point of this is, you can see this is a very, very strong balance sheet company. So when we look at their operations overall, if we look at their income statement, their general administrative expenses are about $11 million per quarter. If I break that down to the detail here in note 15, so that's the $11 million in overhead, you'll see share-based payments is $1.8 million of that. So that puts them at about $9.5 million from a cash flow standpoint per quarter. So maybe $3 million a month. So this is a company that has $265 million of current assets. So this is why I say, despite the fact that this is more than a minor inconvenience and it's a situation that they have to deal with and get to the bottom of and fix, it's not changing their overall financial position, and I don't think it changes the trajectory of this company at all, in my opinion. Okay, I want to finish up by just looking at their chart. This is the chart of their stock over the last really 3 or 4 months. You'll see there was a peak here in August, and they got up to $3.70. So I want to remind everybody, their 52-week high is $13.28. So even as we look at this peak here at $3.70 back in August of 2022. That's still down drastically. They're down 70% just to get to this point. From this point until the close today, they're down another 70%. So this stock has been beaten up, and it's been beaten up again. Like all the Bitcoin miners, they hit a 52-week low back at the end of June or beginning of July, in their case, July 5th. So that was at around $1.28. They did get all the way back to $3.70 from there. This line of support held. It even held through the FTX situation, which was this area right here. So obviously they lost a lot of ground as Bitcoin crashed and everything kind of crashed during this FTX situation. But subsequent to that, it was not until November 17th that they took out this previous low and they set a new low. So their new low is now $1.08. They hit that last Monday. They hit that again today. So they have now tested and retested a new low at $1.08. To me, this is very, very low. I think this stock is oversold. This is not financial advice, and I can't tell you guys to buy this stock or sell this stock. But what I would say is I would put it on your watch list if I was you, because to me, this is at a very interesting point. It's very, very oversold right now. It did hit its 52-week low, and really that's its 2-year low today. They have to work this situation out at North Bay and see how they're going to get that about 25% of their Bitcoin mining back up and running. In addition to that, obviously, their stock is heavily affected by the price of Bitcoin. So however long we are in this crypto bear market and or crypto winter, Hut 8 will probably in some ways move accordance to Bitcoin. But for me, if I'm looking at the long-term picture, I don't think this changes the picture. I am bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. So if I look a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, I think Bitcoin is going to be in much, much, much better place. And I think Hut 8 is still poised to get from point A to point B through the crypto winter, however long it may last. So that's about all I know now on this situation. So if any new news comes up, I will put out a new video. Also, we will hopefully be talking to Sue on the channel in a couple of weeks. Everybody else, thank you so much for watching the video. And remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.